What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we are looking into the uncapped broker model, its history, its past, where it's going in the future, what that means for real estate agents. You don't want to miss this episode. Let's go. We are looking at the uncapped broker model today, the future of it, and what that means for real estate agents. This broker model, by the way, basically comes in two different shapes and forms. The first one is corporate owned, right? You pay one split in perpetuity. So if you are, selling 100 million, you're paying commission on all of it, right? The other type of uncapped broker model is a franchise model. So a lot of times in this, there's this uncapped franchise fee that's 6 or 7% often. And then there's a higher split, but a cap or sometimes a desk fee at the local broker franchise owner level. So a lot of times in this system, you'll pay in 15 to 30,000 or so to your local franchise owner, and then an unlimited amount to the national franchise. So this model, you're typically paying less than the corporate owned, like they're taking less from you because the national franchise fee is usually lower than like the corporate owned structures where we see this. So, there's two versions of this. They both take a lot from you as a real estate agent, and one of them takes a little bit less. So now, just to clarify, we are not talking about a team model here, right? The typical team model is uncapped on leads that the team leader is driving. That's a different story, right? When you talk about lead gen. In these uncapped broker models, you're typically not getting lead gen. You're paying uncapped commissions on your own business. So my quick take on it, by the way, I'll just to get the bottom line up front, is these models actually take more from you than the IRS, right? Because you are paying you're paying gross, whether it's 10%, 15%, 20%, you're paying gross. When you look at the IRS, you're paying on the net. So that's after your marketing expenses, staff expenses, technology fees, car, transportation, education, coaching, all of that, right? So even though the IRS rate is typically higher, they're taking off the net versus the gross. So if you think about having your business at the uncapped broker model, you are essentially, that's your number one expense in your business. You're giving more to them typically if you're selling at a high level than you would anywhere else. Now, if you're only selling $1 million or $2 million, it may not matter, right? But this uncapped model is high cost. Like super high cost. Like there is nothing more expensive about it in real estate. So is the value there, right? A lot of the people that are running these businesses try to claim that they have proprietary technology or that they have some sort of advantage in marketing and branding. If you've read my white paper, which is on LinkedIn or on my website, danlesniak.com, if you read my white paper on this, I believe that the technology to run your real estate business is a commodity. I think you can get CRMs off the shelf. You can get marketing off the shelf. You can get dialing systems off the shelf. Like everything you need to run your business, you can pretty much get on your iPhone, right? Like I don't know I don't know what system there is that you need to run a real estate business, whether you're solo, team, independent broker, that's not available, right? I don't think real estate companies go out and develop proprietary technology that is not available somewhere else. So I think it's off the shelf. So I think that's the answer on the technology side. On the marketing, branding, lead gen side, I I think at the end of the day, the consumer chooses you. They choose the real estate agent. I think the branding, the marketing, the lead generation is at the agent or the team leader level. It is rare that there's a broker that, sold at a high level or sold at a high level recently that is then going out and doing that for the brokerage in a way that gives an advantage. I just don't see it in the market. I never got a call when I was at two of the different big box brokerages that said like, hey, we want to work with you because you're at this brokerage. That never happened to me. I've been at a couple of them. So again, I think what some of these uncapped models claim to be their disadvantage or their advantage is really just a commodity. And then they have the perception of this extra value, which they then leverage to charge agents a lot more. And the more successful you are, the more it costs to run your business. When you look at these like lower cap models, these places like EXP Realty, where you cap out at 16,000 in commissions, you've got a pretty big advantage. The more in that model, the more business you do, your cost of sales actually, cost of sales price actually goes down the more you do. And it's opposite of that at these big uncapped models. So I think the proof is kind of in the pudding. If you look at, some of the top fastest growing uncapped models, versus a company like EXP, one of the leaders now in the low cap model, EXP basically adds more agents per year than the fastest growing uncapped model has in its entirety in its company. I mean, that's just staggering to think about. So it does look like the market has decided. It does look like there's a clear winner. By the way, they're more profitable than any of the uncapped models as well. So, they're growing faster than any of the uncapped models. They are making more money than any of the uncapped models. They've got lower cost of sales than any of the uncapped models. So, it seems to me that a company like EXP has a huge advantage in this area. And I don't, if we're predicting 10 years into the future, if you just look at what's happening in the industry, if you look at the financials, like if you were to kind of send these different companies to your stockbroker, ask which one to invest in for a 10-year period, I think it's clear which one they would tell you. When you look at all of these factors, the uncapped model is not the model of the future. All right. So if you want to learn more about the advantages of a company like EXP and joining our group and getting the coaching that Carrie, Shull, and I offer the people that join EXP with us, I would love for you to get on the phone with me. You can just text me at 703-638-4393. Again, that's 703-638-4393. I would love to talk about sponsoring you at EXP Realty, the advantages you get with our coaching, our help with recruiting, our systems, and having low commission splits, having a low cap, having stock awards, being able to build recurring income. If that is of interest of you, please text me, 703-638-4393. Thank you again for watching the show. Please share these episodes with other people you think would benefit. I'll see you next time.